Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 93, Franco's World. Very fun episode planned for you today. My special guest, Maximilian Spinelli. That's an all-time name on this show. I'm a big name guy. If you have a good name, you're in with me. Maximilian Spinelli. Max, where can the people follow you at, man?
You can follow me at Max a Gazillion on every channel, and thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate the name shout out.
Of course, I know this is like really weird, but like names are a big deal with me. It's like if you have like an off-putting name, it's gonna be like, oh, it doesn't feel good
Yeah,
coming off my lips.
right. Yeah. What came up with Franco? Is that just like a nickname that you had your whole life?
It was my dad's nickname. My name's
Okay.
Franklin. People call me Frank, Franco, Franklin, Frankie. They call me whatever. I don't know. I
Franco's
let
cool. I like
Franco
Franco.
is cool. Thank you. One of my favorite entertainers of all time was Dean Martin. He went by Dino. I thought that was an homage to him.
Uh,
So
wow.
that's
Classy
where I got
Tate. How
that.
old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay. Wow. All right. He's a little before your time and mine as
Yeah.
well. So
I think he died, and I think he died in like 95. I was born in 96, so he was very much before my
okay.
time.
I am suddenly feeling I'm firmly in my late 20s. I was born in 93. I'm guest number 93, born in 93. Great year for me. But
Hmm.
I'm starting to feel old, especially being on these apps and stuff.
Dude, you're not kidding, man. Even for me, 24, you're thinking like I'm hip to the game, I understand. And like you
Yeah.
and I are both on TikTok and it is the moon to me at this point. I
Yeah,
don't
you know
get
what's
it.
been tough is ever since I was in Justin Bieber is 1 year below me. So my entire life, Bieber's just been I've been like, well, this kid's 1 year younger and he's ahead. Well, he's not. Well, when he went to jail, I was like, I went to jail 2 years after he went to jail. So I was ahead of him on that.
Man, it's so tough. You see these young celebrities get all this success, and you're just like, why do I even try? And I watch a lot of baseball, and they say like a guy's ancient when he's 31 or 33, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do with my life?
Yeah, I'm very thankful that my closest friends in comedy, they're all exactly 30, so it makes me feel good that
Yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
the
Oh
youngest of
yeah.
that group because there are some comics that are so young and and it's like God bless them, you know what I mean? That's great. I started just out of college, but then I took a couple of years off to find myself, and then
And
I
that's
got back
perfectly
into
okay.
it.
Did you go on like in a European trip to find yourself? What'd you do?
No, I moved to New York City and needed to pay rent.
That'll do it, and that'll do it.
And I had to figure out some mental health, but then I got back into it
Well, that's
after
awesome,
a
man. I
while.
I
Medication, man, I
started
can't recommend it.
I started when I was 20. I started when I was 20. I was in college and just hit my college open mics. That's just what I did. And instead of, going out to parties, and I did go out to some parties, but like most of the time, Friday night, I'm staying in and watching Johnny Carson reruns and writing jokes till 2 a.m. And my friends are like, hey, come pick me up from the bar. That's what I did.
Right, we had very different college experiences.
Where'd you go?
I went to Fairfield U, not exactly a big party school. I was just a bunch of preppy trash bags, but
Fairfield. Are they like the
yeah,
deer or something like that? Is that a deer?
the Stags, exactly, the
Yeah.
Stags. Good call. But yeah, I mean, all you do is just drink. That's cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do.
I don't even. Oh, Connecticut. I'm assuming that's where that is.
Connecticut, Fairfield, Connecticut. I grew up in Connecticut, and then I went to Fairfield U, and
Oh,
I
okay. The
shall
only
never
reason I
return.
know Fairfield is because I was a gambling addict, and so I would watch like any small college basketball game to try to like make money off it. So
Wow. Yeah, we didn't
yeah,
even we went to school there. We didn't even watch the games. So that's
I mean,
oh, you lived a life. Jesus, 24. You've already overcame a gambling addiction.
oh yeah, bro. I'm in the process of that. I'm like, and that's not to say I'll never like put money on anything again because I have thrown like just a little bet on game here and there, but it's like that was like I was trying to make that like my job. I was trying to like do data analysis every day on games to make money, and that's just like it was not healthy. It took a lot of creative energy. It's not a good look.
Hey, listen, it's only a problem if you're losing. That's what I always say.
That's also true. Okay, never mind. I'm back on the wagon. I'm back on
Yeah,
the wagon.
get back into it. Why don't we throw some money down on some ponies this weekend? I think I feel good about it.
Honestly, my alma mater plays in 30 minutes. I might have to throw some money on them. You got me in the mood, Max.
I went to Belmont for the first time like a year or two, well, 2 years
Ooh.
ago, because a year ago the world was shut down. But 2 years ago, I had a blast. We had some stogies. I was wearing a fun hat. And I'm not a
Ugh.
gambling, I don't care about really sports or anything, but, like, the being there, that's when all of a
Yeah,
sudden I'm like, I'm fucking watching the races. It's like,
yeah.
you get jacked up, it's fun.
I've never been to a horse track. I wanna go so bad. I just like, the people wear the dresses and the cool suits. I wanna be a part of that.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you really wanna be a part of. Well, there's a lot of, like high schoolers and that kind of stuff. They go and there's, like, a little club area. We got away from the riffraff and with the real big spenders, even though I don't have any money. I like to spend like I do. Um, Geez, I'm in my friend's bedroom right now. It's just that I don't feel like I'm in my space because I quite literally am not. Or I'm looking across at these neighbors. They got like
Yeah.
Oscar awards on the fucking thing.
So I'm very curious. Growing up in Fairfield, Connecticut, you say you're from Fairfield or you went to college there?
I'm from Trumbull, which is like a few towns away from Fairfield.
Okay. Well, okay. So I've had 3 comedians from Connecticut on my show. So I've had you, Claire Alexander, and Joey Rinaldi all on my show,
Two
and
of my good friends in comedy.
that's great. It's all. Well, I mean, I interview mostly New York comics, so I guess it's not like out of the realm of
Yeah, yeah.
possibilities.
What if I was just like Claire, that bitch? I know. I
Yeah.
I
Oh
actually
my gosh.
I had dinner with her and a few people last night. We love making fun of Claire. I think she's even younger than you. Let me tell you.
I think we're around the same age, yeah, but, anyone from Connecticut, I always have to ask them this. I always like, so Fairfield, roughly, my favorite musician of all time, John Mayer's from Fairfield, Connecticut. Have you had any run-ins
Right.
with him or his family or anything?
So John Mayer's dad was my dad's principal when he went to high school, which is a fun thing.
See?
And I mean, I saw John Mayer in concert. Just saw a John Mayer in Train concert when I was in high school at the Hartford um, concert arena, and it was just a delightful show. I have to say, the guy's talented. Sue me.
Yeah. He's my favorite artist,
I've
so and
I've never run into him. We don't hang out.
well, right, right, right. Okay, well, who knows, Connecticut guys gotta hang out together, gotta stick together. But we
Yeah.
gotta get back on the. I just had to ask that, but we gotta get back on the content creation train. You and I are both on TikTok. We're having a hard time understanding it, but you and I both had early on success on this app. How many views were you getting on those early videos?
So, what it's weird. So I downloaded TikTok when quarantine started because I needed something to do and I escaped from my girlfriend at the time. You're not gonna believe this, but it didn't work out. But it was a lot of fun. I had a great time with it, and so it was weird. It's not like I was popping off immediately. I was just having fun with it, and then I went viral. And then, you know what? My situation, I feel like I've got a different kind of thing where like I would go viral every couple months and like enormous and then go back to just
Yeah,
nothing, you know? So I would get like 600,000 views and then a few months later and then from then on it would just be like the regular 200 300 and then it would be another 600 700,000 views. And
yeah.
then it would go back and then a couple months ago in January I got like a million views on a video. And then I was finally working out. I was like, okay, maybe I figured out maybe the algorithm's smiling on me because they were performing well like for a week or two. And then
Yeah.
now I'm good. Last night's video I think has 20 views, and I logged out of the app. I'm done. We're in a fight. I logged out.
Man,
I'm
I'm in
done.
the same boat. My first video I put up 175,000 views. A couple videos later, 1.2 mil. I got a couple
Yeah.
500,000, and then obviously like 27,000, 100,000, all this stuff. But now, you look at my last 3 videos:
Mhm.
248, 194, 256. I'm
Yeah,
done.
it's insane. But I mean, and I look at these comics and these friends of mine. I'm so happy for them. But it's
Yeah.
like, are they really doing that much different? I don't think they know a secret. I just think there must be something in the way that they're posting or their content. It's also like you get seen by the right people, all that kind of stuff. And maybe
Yeah.
I'm just not as funny as I think I am. I don't know. It's a
Uh,
conversation I have with my therapist too often.
Yep, yep. Every time a video does poorly, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I do suck. Maybe I am bad.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But then TikTok brings you right back with a viral, and you're like, well, there's no one more talented than me. Now, obviously, yeah. Then the internet gets it. Now that these swines are finally understanding the grace I'm bringing.
Exactly. You're talking to the choir here because that's exactly how I feel. You get a video with a million views and you're on top of the world, but I don't understand like the algorithm. Like, have you tried to break it down to a science? Like, whenever I post a video, I'm like, okay, wait 2 minutes, and then I go on one of my alt accounts and I'll like it and I'll share my own
Yeah,
video because I'm that conceited, and and
yeah.
and then and then I'll ask my friends to like, hey, just go spam like this real quick, and I'll get like 6 likes out of the gate, and I'm like, okay, great, all these people have watched it and liked it. I got one comment on it, couple shares, and then nothing.
Yeah. So I think I mean I've looked into it. I've gone deep on a couple of Reddit pages too. Reddit TikTok help, which is
Wow,
some of the darker moments in my life. But I still don't
TikTok
fully
help.
understand. I don't think TikTok help on Reddit. It's a really good community. They're very supportive of each other. And there's always one asshole that like comments and is like, maybe you guys just aren't posting good enough content. And everyone's like, that's not it. That's not possible. That's not what we're here for. But I think back in the day, like when I first started like a year ago, I think it was all the above. It was like shares, but like I think always the most important thing was time watched because any app wants you to
Hmm.
spend more time on it. And I think
Hmm.
that's still a thing. But like I don't where my thing is at right now is like people are watching it. There's a lot of engagement, but it's like 50 people, only people that follow me. I don't go on the For You page anymore.
Yeah,
And like half of them like it. And like if you look at analytics, you can see that they're watching it at least once. So it's like, I don't know what you guys want from me. I think I must have said one word or something that just like triggered like this
that's what I
shutdown.
worry about,
Yeah, yeah.
like
God
early on.
bless. I need to I thank God comedy's coming back because I need to stop this needs to go back to just being a fun thing. Social media before the pandemic was like it was more of a personal thing. It was kind of like it was like just like fun, like updating
Yeah.
like friends and stuff. Like and it was fun to do stuff, but that didn't matter to me. Like and I respect so many people that it became big on digital a long time ago
Hmm.
and it's been a big focus. Like it's hard. It's
Yeah.
totally different. Like I had to figure out like the same thing you do for stand up, you have to figure out your voice. Like because there's some of my favorite, I would say, comedians, and they might not, I don't even know if they're stand-ups, but they're those Twitter people that do like the front-facing videos. Like I love that shit. Those people, those things get
Yeah.
me every time. But so like figuring that out was a whole nother thing. But like in the pandemic, I was like, how come I'm not going viral immediately? Why is this not working? And then I had to like reason with myself and be like, well, this isn't something that you've done really before. So it
Yeah.
makes sense that it's not going really well right away.
Yeah. The thing with me, and because I had this early on success on the app and then sort of tapered down to having no success, I think in my mind, at like this time last year, I was over in Europe and it was like right as the pandemic was like getting popping. Like this was,
Hmm.
it was like they had that first little case in Seattle, and like maybe that New York lawyer had it and he like spread it everywhere. And
Hmm.
I made a video where like I was walking through the airport in like Germany, and I'm like, oh, I'm on my way to Wuhan with a mask, and like I think TikTok didn't like that because they were like a Chinese owned app at the
Yeah.
time, and they blackballed me. That's what
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
in my
yeah,
mind.
yeah. You mean you get blackballed. I mean, like, let's call a spade a spade. Shadow banning exists. I have a lot of bits about it. I have one that I'm trying out tonight that I'm very excited because every month that my shadow ban persists, and I won't accept that it's not a shadow ban. That's something. It's a case for the FBI. I've said it several times. I'd like someone to look into it. But listen, it's fun. Anything, even things different. If they're not going well, it works for me. If it's not, it's not. I can always turn something into a bit. God bless. That's the beauty of
Yeah.
the stand up. But it would be nice. God forbid I join the creator fund. God forbid.
God forbid you get some success. God forbid. But
God forbid. It's just L after L. Let me tell you that.
the shadow banning thing, man, like I think I get shadow banned, and then I just
Y-
think like, oh, never mind, I just suck. Like I don't understand it. It's
Yeah.
like it's where people can't find you when they search your name, or what is it?
Yeah, well, but I think it's just like when your videos aren't filtered out, and so like to like I don't have that many followers, which is insane because I have a lot of likes, but that's a whole other thing for another day. But
Yeah.
people just go to my profile and they're like, I mean, I enjoyed that one video, but maybe not again. Maybe I don't want to see this face every day, and I understand that, I respect that, but it doesn't make any sense if you have a few thousand followers and you're getting 20 views on a video. Even if it's like, yeah, TikTok is
Yeah.
it's no, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. That doesn't make sense. Even more of your followers should be seeing it. So there has to be something there. And then I had literally last night, I made this video and you know how you have TikTok friends. I have TikTok friends now. These people I've never met in life and I never will, but like they're
Wow.
supportive of me and we message every once in a while. She messaged me and she goes, I just duetted your video. And then they immediately took it down. So
Oh.
I don't know what to tell you. I was like, listen, I'm cursed, so stay away.
I have like three and a half thousand fans on the talk, and
Mhm.
where are they at when I post content? Where
Yeah,
are like they are gone?
yeah.
I
Mhm.
don't get it.
I don't understand it, and I think trying to worry too much about it for a while there, it was really getting to me. Actually, you know what? It was a saving grace is Reels, which is also cooled off for me, but I was
Yeah.
popping off there for a bit.
I haven't
And that's
posted many
also what
reels.
made me be like, TikTok doesn't make any fucking sense because I posted the same exact I posted the same video that got a million views on TikTok, and on Instagram it just did fine. And then I posted a video that like got like 100 likes on TikTok and didn't do that well. Then it got 500,000 views on
That's
Instagram. So
crazy.
it's like
Congrats on that.
there's no rhyme or reason. And that's when I finally was like just put my hands up and I was like at a certain point maybe it's not about quality. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just as much about luck and like the and timing and all that kind of stuff as it is about content. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
quality plays a part in everything, but there's clearly a lot of other powers at play that I don't understand.
What is your TikTok timeline looking like? Like, what are they what do they think is for you?
Oh yeah. So like, what's my stuff? It's a lot of comedy. It's a lot of
Like, this
um,
is what TikTok is catering to you on your timeline.
yeah. Actually I logged out of the app because I was like, I'll open it right now and tell you the first three videos that show up. But I logged out. We're in a fight, but it's a lot of not stand up, but like character videos, like
Mhm.
impressions, but like I weirdly I'm on Keira Knightley TikTok because I watched this one guy did like this incredible impression of Keira Knightley that I thought was
Really?
hilarious. So I watched all of his videos. So I now anytime someone does a Keira Knightley impression on the app, I get that. But like those kinds of like fun
She's a hottie.
impressions.
She's a hottie.
She's a hottie, but like she's a very once you see an impression, you're like you can't even. It's just hilarious because she does not speak normally. But
Wait, is this the guy that he does, like, a little underbite type looking thing, or
yeah,
what?
exactly. Yeah.
Yep, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's funny. So things like that. I'm on Schitt's Creek TikTok.
Mhm.
I'm on I'm on a lot of like TV shows that I watch, like that stuff. I don't even know how that stuff pops up because I don't really interact with it. I was on Avatar: The Last Airbender TikTok for a while.
Mhm.
Usually niche content stuff is what I see on my feed, and then
Yeah.
news about TikTokers. I'm surprisingly in tune with what's going on with the
Like, the
18 to
drama and
23
stuff
year
like
olds
that?
on
You're in
the
talk
popular.
drama?
Yeah, the talk drama. Well, I love. Can I tell you my guilty pleasure is BFFs, that podcast with Dave
Portnoy?
Portnoy and
Yeah.
that kid Josh Richards. I actually just posted, in my opinion, a spot on impression of Dave on that podcast. Nobody saw it. Obviously, you got 70 views, but
I don't wanna ask, but you can't not say something like that and not do the Dave impression in here.
uh, I can't do it. I can't do it right now. I have to be in character, but I
Uh,
will. You know what? I will do it.
you wanna hear
God forbid,
mine?
I will do
I'll
it.
go first, I'll make it more
Yeah,
comfortable.
do it. Go for it.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, and what do you want me to talk about, though? Dave Portnoy on what?
Dave Portnoy. He's going to the racetrack.
"You see a gray, you bet a gray. Gray is the Nantucket Mist. Get that, Frankie." That's all I got.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I see. I do more of a laid back because I really David. I've only ever seen his pizza reviews and this podcast. Like, I'm not like a big Barstool guy, but I follow them on Instagram because their Instagram
When
videos
I
they
was
share the
early college, I was a big Barstool guy, and that's back when they were, like, a low-key thing, and all they did was just, like,
fun.
gamble all the money they had and scream at the
Yeah,
camera, so that's what I
yeah,
revert back to.
that's amazing. I'll give you. I'll do the podcast impression where he basically just starts every podcast and he goes, "All right, welcome to BFFs. Now, Josh, what are we talking about this week? Josh, I got a lot of beef. People got beef with me. I said a joke. Some
The
people got it. Some
j
people didn't. I said a joke, and I don't even know. I don't even know if this guy believes it. That's it. That's Dave.
Dude, dude, oh my god. The joke,
That's
it's a
everyone on the
joke.
podcast, by the way. That's every podcast. That's every
It's
episode,
a
man.
I
That's
got
everyone.
beef, it's a joke. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's so good, dude. That's good.
this kid. I don't know if is he attacking me? Does he believe what he's saying? I don't know if it's a joke. I don't know if it's real. Now I'm starting to believe it.
Dude, that's so good, man. That's really good. Holy cow. I've never heard someone like try to do a Portnoy impression other than just be like some gambling stuff. I got 20 grand and you're betting $50 and we're gonna act like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
supposed to be a big bet.
Yeah, you know what's funny is you think when I was trying the impression because I tried a few like versions of it to myself, when you first try an impression, and then I realized it doesn't even have to be that Boston. Like he's the what makes his voice more unique, I think, is not even that. It's just the cadence. How he talks is just fucking weird, and the depth of it.
He always says this. He's like, he says like,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, you're fired. We gotta let you go.
yeah. A lot of fun
Dude, that's
pauses. A lot
good.
of fun pause.
My let's see, my TikTok timeline is now that John Mayer posts, it's all John Mayer videos now that he posts on TikTok.
I haven't seen him.
Um, a lot of like weird inside baseball, like actual baseball, a lot of weird baseball stuff.
Mhm.
And what else? Dude, a lot of and I don't do winter sports, but I have way too many skiing videos on my timeline, and I've never skied in my life. I don't like this.
I I get a lot of tennis highlights. I actually am a tennis fan. I played in high school and a little in college, but
Oh, I didn't play in college,
it
but I played in high school.
and it's I didn't play on the college team. I just had fun and played like
Oh,
on the club
okay.
team. I play,
I was like,
I
"Oh,
played it actually on the
Fairfield
high school team.
Fairfield Stag Fairfield Stag athlete
They
over here."
listen. They were D1, and I think the tennis team should have been good at a rich school like that. I don't know
Yeah.
about that, but I was not that good. But I love the sport, and I get that kind of stuff. I love when TikTok just kind of figures out stuff that you like. But I don't know how
I'm
they
actually gonna
would.
get on my timeline right now and just scroll through. All right, here we go. Italian pizza maker, that's one.
Yeah,
Let's see. Some people playing some beer dye and a volcano
yeah.
eruption. Those are my top. Those and then some girl with
Uh,
a huge rump, and that was my
listen,
those are my
I
4
I get
videos.
that. Well, I followed Charlie Jordan and a few of those people as well.
I'm gonna go. I
I
don't know who that is. I gotta look them up now.
She is. I think she loves weed and dancing. I think that's
Mhm.
like kind of her brand. Let me.
Says she's
I'll
an
sign in,
artist.
but then you have to keep me honest. I'm gonna sign right out. I'm gonna sign right out after. But I'm having fun with this. So
Yeah, man,
let's see if I even remember my
my
fucking
timeline is
password.
crazy. It's, like, all over the place. I can't get a straight answer. A lot of
Yeah,
Australian
no,
I get a lot of
they
Australian
don't.
videos.
Australians, really?
Yeah, ton of Australian. And then
Yeah, I
there
get New
for
Girl
and
things.
what's that?
I get, stuff about the show New Girl, like, I still get, like, when the challenge like, there was, like, the accent challenge, like, made up shit, like, this one's, like, the mosquito accent challenge. I get weird niche comedy videos. Like, my
That's
sense
funny.
of hu TikTok knows my sense of humor. Here's the Sway House, I'm invested in the Sway House. If I was 17 years old, I would beg them to be part of it. Um, I
I've been getting a lot of babies, and
uh,
it's like, I don't want a child for another decade and a half.
yeah, and you know what else that sounds very upsetting. I get a lot of singing too. I think, like, if somebody has a good voice, I do enjoy that and I support them.
A lot of
I
Southern
I'm
dad
very
impressions. Oh, and skincare because 'cause I'm a big, anti-aging.
Really? Are you?
Yeah.
What's your secret? Because I could talk to you about skincare for quite some time.
I think it helps that I have darker skin than most white people because I have Native American blood in me. I got a lot of Native American in me,
Right.
and so I
Right.
think that helps because the sun is the enemy. The sun is the enemy.
Right. That's what they say.
I worked and I played sports my whole life and worked in professional baseball, so I wore a lot of hats, and I think that honestly protected my face for a long time. And I moisturize daily, twice a day. I have this thing because I have oily skin, so I have to get this moisturizer that's like, coincides well
Really?
with oily skin. What is it? CeraVe? I use some like facial cleanser too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what else
I
do I do?
I have I have a porcelain skin, and it's partially because of my strict regimen, but also I've avoided manual labor my entire life.
Got
But
to do it.
I was told about retinol recently. I have to kind of get into that. It's something for us, the two of us, to look into. Apparently, it fights all sorts of wrinkles. But
My
also,
sister
you
is
have great
just
skin
addicted to
because you're 24 years
Botox.
old.
My sister's just addicted to
Really?
Botox. Yeah.
Where does she go?
Not addicted. Sorry, I use that word too liberally. She likes it. She uses it.
There's nothing wrong with it. Let me tell you something. I think it's actually nowadays literally no one cares. Also, if the CW came to me tomorrow and said, "Hey, would you mind playing 17 for the next 5 years?" I would say, number one, thank you. I'm flattered. Number two, I will have to inject myself with something every day for the rest of my
Yeah.
life.
Dude, like, yeah, I obviously want to look as young as possible for as long as possible. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well,
Crazy.
that's a no-brainer. I don't think I think it's stupid to be like, "Oh, what? You're taking care of your skin?" Yeah, I have it for my whole life. Let's hope.
Dude, and I need to go see a dermatologist, and I had an appointment scheduled for last month. That appointment got banged, and now it's supposed to be late this month. I have like, I don't know. I don't know how you say it's like Melilla or something like that. I have like these two white bumps on my eyelid, and that is like, I'm super self conscious about it, but nobody can see it. But like in my mind, I am just have these
It's
volcanoes
all
on
you
my
can
eyelid.
see. I got a nose ring earlier in quarantine that my friend, she's a nurse, she did it at this apartment that I'm actually in right now. Her and her boyfriend Carl. She brought like supplies home from the hospital, pierced my nose. Actually did a really good job. But then like I had like a bump on my nose for like the 4 or 5 months that it was healing. Like it would like get smaller and grow bigger, and like I I hated it. It's all I could
Yeah.
see. Thankfully, it's gone. There's a God in heaven.
Yeah. Dude, let's see. I'm just trying to prevent like wrinkling. That's a big thing for me. Like forehead wrinkles. I smile. We're comics, so we smile a bunch. That's going to be a thing. But if I have to have any wrinkles,
Yep.
I'm okay with the smile lines. That seems like I had fun in life, if that makes sense.
Those are classy. Those are classy. I think also, thankfully, I think guys are allowed to have, like, the more of, like, those kind of things, those lines, like, more, like,
Yeah.
subtle shit,
Yeah. And
but,
I feel so bad.
too
I
many
feel
wrinkles
so
on
bad for
anybody's too much.
women. I feel so bad for women because like, you know, you hate to say it, but guys tend to look better as they get a little older. Get a little age
Well,
on them, you know what I
you're
mean?
also allowed to age gracefully, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like women, it's like, "Oh my gosh, if you don't upkeep this like if you don't upkeep this 26-year-old look, like, yo, you're an old hag." Like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, think of every other fucking week there's a headline about Jennifer Lopez looking so good at 50, whatever she
Yeah.
is. But I mean, and she does. She looks incredible. But like, let's also call it a spade a spade. Like, that's professional. That's a
Like
professionally done
she has the
face.
money
Yeah,
to maintain
yeah.
this look. Like, you
If
know,
she
you have a
wanted to, she
couple
could put a new
kids.
face on every year.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You're absolutely right. And speaking of body modifications, if that's what we're talking about, putting a new face on every year. You're a tattoo guy. I'm interested in the tattoo world, and here's something that you might not know about me. I have no tattoos, but all of my
Mm,
YouTube for you page like recommendations are tattoo people like
yeah,
reviewing tattoos or like watching people actually do them on camera. Like that's like I'm interested in the art. It's cool.
I feel like that's very common. I know a lot of people like you that like have always wanted a tattoo, but just like are just waiting for the perfect one, and that's totally reasonable. Like, I think like the first one, it does mean a lot, number 1, to you, and, like, I think, like, you have to psych yourself up, but and there's that constant doubt, like, "Is this the one that I want forever?" Once you,
Yeah.
like, pop that first cherry or whatever you wanna call it and get your first tattoo, the rest are much ea in my experience, and I think a lot of people that is kind of like a cliche, but I do believe it's true, at least it really was for me. But
Everyone
also
always
my
says your
first
first
tattoo was
one's
my
the
entire
worst no matter
forearm.
what, though.
No, I mean, I love my first tattoo is still I wouldn't call it my favorite, but I love it.
Gosh, I just want to make sure I get the right thing. And honestly, like I weigh like 160 some pounds. Like I need to gain some weight before I get a tattoo because I want to look. You know, I don't want to look like I don't know. I just don't want to look like some street bum that's like strung out and he's got
Yeah.
tattoos. Like I want to look good with tattoos.
Yeah, no, weigh about the same, and, I don't plan on changing, but, it's fun. I honestly, like, I think it's the most important thing is, like, if you like it, and I think
Hmm.
that's, like, because I remember after I first got a few, and when you have less, and I'm not covered, but, like, both of my forearms have a bunch, and I have, like, one on my hand, but a lot of
Yeah.
people are like, "What do they mean? What do they mean?" People stop asking when you have more, but, like, in the beginning, I was like, I thought it would look cool, and, like, that was the truth. Like, a lot of it's not like you don't your mom doesn't need to die for you to get a tattoo. Like, I think that, like, you're allowed to, like you're allowed to get something else, and I think that's fine. Like, I don't like, it doesn't need to be some all-encompassing, like I think too often people you see all these guys with, like, a cross or, like, the girls with a Bible quote, and it's like, you don't believe in any of this. Like, it's like, you're
Yeah.
trying too hard. That's too much. You're doing too much.
So many people where I'm from, it's in West Virginia's in the Bible Belt, but it's like that first belt in the belt loop. No one really uses it, but it's there. And, you know,
Mhm.
these guys have all these crosses and like Bible verses. I'm like, you haven't been inside of a church since you were born. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. To me,
Y-
I think that's worse than just like a fun tattoo that you actually like, because you're being something that you're not.
Yeah.
Like, I have the Captain America shield on my forearm because after a boozy brunch one day, me and 4 friends went and got tattoos, and that's what I wanted. So that's a fun memory, if anything.
Yeah. The ideas that I have right now, and you know, I don't want to be the classic. Oh, he's got a flower tattoo, but I want to get something that's about my home state, West Virginia. I want to get like the rhododendron flower somewhere on my body. It's a nice.
Mhm.
I think it's like a Japanese flower, but it's the state flower of West Virginia, and I want to get that. But I want to get it done right, and I
Mhm.
might have to get it Tabori style, Japanese style, to get it done right.
Ah, that's sick.
And that's scary. And I don't think I want to get that as my first tattoo.
Well, I mean, thankfully, you live in New York, so somebody can do it right and do it well. It's just gonna be a little expensive, you know? I was lucky where my first
Wait, I'm not in New York. Did you just say
tattoo
I'm in
was
New
all.
York?
You don't live in New York?
No.
I assumed you did.
Yeah.
I assume any comic does, and I know that's ignorant.
Okay,
If
so
someone's like,
well,
"I
hold
do
on. I
comic."
could tell you about the whole thing. Finish that tattoo thing, and then we'll get into the whole West Virginia thing.
I was lucky where my first tattoo. I used to live in Brooklyn when I first lived in the city, and this shop called Leathernecks was down the street. It was like a few blocks away. I
Hmm.
got my first one there. It's actually one of the best shops, in my opinion, in Brooklyn. And this guy Mikey, like he's done most of my tattoos except for a few, just because it's like when you find somebody that's like you're super comfortable with, like it's like
Hmm.
he's got like the downstairs of the shop. My first one, I was a little nervous. He was like, "Take a scoop out of the pill bucket," just kind of like a little, kind of calm yourself down. It was fun. It
Take a
was,
scoop out of the
and it's nice.
pill bucket. Dude, that took me
It
a
was
minute. I was
nice.
like, wait. I was like, oh, that's funny.
It was fun. He's great, and it's like that's a nice environment, and I think that's like also it's part of it. Like if you also enjoy the experience. But sorry, where are you living? The moon?
Yeah, essentially the moon. No, I'm actually on Mars.
Yeah.
I'm in West Virginia, and I've been in West Virginia for a little over a year. I was living near Philly. I was a professional baseball scout near Philly, and I was trying to do baseball
Wow.
and comedy, but both those things are entertainment based, so it's nights and weekends.
Hmm.
And I had no time
Hmm.
to like hit my mics, and so I was just doing the podcast as reps. And then I had to move back to West Virginia. Now I've been trying for like a year to get a job in the city, so I can get to the city and do my mics and stuff. That's about
Well,
it.
and look at us now. So, are you full time comedy?
No, heck no, heck no. I work at a conference center my parents run, which is like 45 minutes away from my house.
You never know. I like to just assume.
Yeah,
I tell
no,
people
man, I'm a
perception is
micer. I'm a
everything.
micer.
Okay, well, I don't know.
I
God
did
bless.
get paid last night for the first time though. I had a Zoom gig. I got paid.
For the first time, how did it feel? Save the check. I didn't. I don't think I even cashed the first check that
No,
I
it
got.
was a Venmo and it's going into Bitcoin.
Okay, well that's nice.
All $7.
Oh wow! Tell you what, put it in a couple of coins.
No, but hey,
Um,
it crosses the threshold of amateurism though. I've only been paid in beer before that. Now it's like a tangible thing. It's real money.
Yeah, I mean that's beautiful. I think it's like you also have to. It's a mental thing too. Once you kind of mentally cross the threshold as well. Like I remember it was a year, 2018. I was the chief people officer of a real estate company, and
Wow.
I had been doing stand up, and then I quit to focus on stand up. Um, and you never look back, that kind of thing. It's been a beautiful ride. I still do some freelance work on the side just because I have a standard of living that stand up will not
Right.
be able to accommodate until I'm literally a name that people would be like, oh wow, number 93, he got Max, which is not the case. But
Number 90. Oh,
I'm
he got
fortunate to
Max.
wow, he got Max. What a get. I don't think this is going to move the needle much for your audience, but so it's cool. Like I'm not. I just like I really respect the hustle and the people that are able to be a full time comedian, have a bunch of roommates, live in like deep Brooklyn or Queens and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's just not my vibe. I need a doorman. Sue me. I it's something that I need. But I I got very fortunate where I was able to get my focus and kind of I'm able to do still creative stuff on the side, but more professional.
Man, that's so cool. You need to hook me up with that life, son. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a weird ride, but I'm very thankful for where it's taken me, and hopefully where it's going. If this is it, that's sad, but I hope it goes far.
But everyone that's successful has always made that jump, they have those jobs and then they're like,
Yeah,
"You know what? I got to quit it and I got to go all in with the jokes, man." And that's cool
yeah,
that you did that.
yeah. Well, it was scary because I did that, and then last year, I had a breakout headliner set in February of last year at Broadway Comedy
Mhm.
Club. And I had headlined Philly Comedy Club, and like it was like, oh, it's like, oh, God forbid. And I know every comic was like, I had momentum going into the pandemic, but it felt like a little momentum, God forbid.
Yeah. Well, you have. I
And
mean, it's
then it
documented.
went to,
You had documented momentum.
yeah, it's documented momentum. And then you just hit a brick wall. But I think if anything, I'm kind of thankful for what it forced me to do, because it forced me to kind of build out the rest of it. Because I wasn't doing a podcast before it, I wasn't doing a YouTube show, I was barely trying to create content
Yeah.
online, and it also it brought the Tiny Cupboard into my life, which has been huge. I love that place, and
That
I run
place
a
looks
weekly show with
awesome,
them.
man. I feel like it's getting packed out every day.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they turn the lights on and they sell out. I love them, and they're just in it for the art, which is beautiful. So we make
Yeah.
money from it, which is very rare. I used to run a show at this place downtown, and we brought in so much money for them, and they never even threw a dollar our way, or God forbid, they gave us a free fucking mozzarella stick. So it's nice to work with people that actually care.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So growing up in Connecticut, did you always have this passion for wanting to be a stand-up comic? Like, was there anybody on TV that you watched growing up and you're like, I want to do that? Or was it like, how did you get into the game then?
I used to actually, this was like a dream of mine, and then I kind of grew out of it, and then I came back to it. And not grew out of it, but like, like when you get into middle school and like high school and you start becoming self-conscious, you're like, well, that's not something. But like,
Yeah.
I remember being in second grade and third grade, and I used to write comedian on my dream job, because I love making
Wow.
people laugh. It was like always like a thing that like I loved. And I was just kind of like, I just loved being the center of attention, and then that never went away. But um, I but, then I said I wanted to be a doctor, and then I realized that was only because I liked the show Scrubs, and then I realized I wanted to be on the show Scrubs. And it wasn't until it wasn't until college. I never tried anything stand-up related until, Fairfield U does, like, a mock wedding thing at the end
Uh-huh.
of senior year, where all the seniors, like, they vote for the drunkest guy and the drunkest girl to get married, and then they vote for a priest to kind of oversee the ceremony, and they actually book a venue. It was actually a lovely ceremony. It was actually so much fun, but it was like it was we trashed this place. I hope they didn't put a big deposit down, but I was the priest, and I turned it into a roast, and I wrote. It was the first time I ever wrote jokes or did anything,
Yeah.
and it was honestly the most fun I had, and I was like, well, this is something that I really want to do. I
Hmm.
always came back to it.
Man, so it sounds like it's something that you always wanted to do, though, even subconsciously when you're trying to think of more like somewhat realistic, normal job. You're like, I still want to be a comic.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I was always like, and I still say it, like, I want to do something in content, like, whether it's like, and I don't, I've grown as a person where it's like, I'm fine working behind the scenes as well, as long as I
Yeah.
get to have creative control over stuff as well. Like, I don't need to be the star of everything, and I understand that, and I also understand that like it's way more fun to work with people that you like. So I would rather make less, but to be able to kind of do something smaller with like my circle and my people than
Hmm.
kind of climb up by yourself, because that's never fun anywhere you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I want everybody to eat. I want everybody to do well. I'm not in it to make any enemies. I want to be friends with everybody essentially. But is
That
there
don't get me wrong, I would love to make some enemies. I want enemies.
really you? I mean, you do like the
No, no,
drama, so it does make sense.
I love that. I like to stir a little pot, but that's publicity, all that kind of stuff. You were saying
So these like, were there any comics growing up that you like admired or anything?
I have a weird relationship with comedy in that like I was never a student of the craft. I'm still not, and that's not that I don't respect it or stuff. I just have a different kind of viewpoint. I'm the kind of person that like I watch a TV show and I'll take the personality on of
Hmm.
everyone that I see on the show. Like it's like too much. Like I like that. So like I try not to watch too much
Ooh.
stand up because I don't want to be influenced by other people and kind of have that seep in. Most of my stand up, it's I borrowed my sense of humor from people that I've met throughout my life. Most of the funniest people that I know aren't comics, throughout my entire life.
Yeah.
I can pinpoint people through growing up and then high school and then college, like these people that just come into my life, and I'm like, that she's funny, or like he is fucking hilarious. And like, just kind of like borrow as you go along and just
Yeah.
kind of like use that to build. I'm like the vision of of comedians, but so that's kind of it. And also I just like, yeah, I'm not I was never big on mics even before my friends make fun of me because I rarely go, and I rarely did, but I was lucky enough to to kind of get good by
Bypass that
doing
whole
the
thing.
bare
Yeah.
minimum. Yeah, yeah, well, not bypass. I definitely had to go to my mics and, like, obviously in the beginning, everyone has a stage of being like, "Well, I'm the funniest person." Then you realize I'm not funny at all. And then you kind of like get like into it, like figure out like joke writing. I was not a comedy god, and I still am not. But like
Yeah.
I was able to do it with less, do less. You know, I was never gonna. And you have to make that agreement with yourself. I was never gonna be the guy going to three mics a night. And I respect the fucking hustle. But like I would have quit if I had to do that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
doesn't matter who I
understand.
am.
But that's funny you said you take the personality on of people that you see on TV. I myself, whenever I find somebody I like in entertainment or anything, I have to know everything about their life, and then and I try
Yeah.
to like do a comparison side by side with my life, and I'm like, how am I like this person in this way? Do I
Yeah.
say things that they say? Do I sound like the way they sound when they talk? And it's subconscious. Like I don't really mean to do it. It's just like when you obsess about like a way a certain person acts or like a certain comedian, it's like, okay, I want to like embody that whole style, and I can totally see what you mean by not wanting.
Oh,
You don't want to be doing an
100.
impression of Seinfeld just because you're a big Seinfeld fan.
Exactly, and that's also part of it, and also it's like I just like scripted shows better than just like watching pure stand up. If I was given the opportunity, that's kind of what I would do.
Yeah.
But that being said, like I remember distinctly, like I did a show at the comic strip a couple of years ago, and I was binge watching Schitt's Creek at the time. And after the show, this person in the audience came up to me and was like, "Do you watch Schitt's Creek?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen it." I didn't want to be like weird about it, and they were like, "You remind me of exactly of like David and Alexis mixed together." And I was like, "Fuck!" And so it seeped into, and I didn't. That was not intentional, but the way I performed, I must have been watching a lot. The way I
Yeah.
performed that night was just like reminiscent of the way those two characters behave.
Yeah. When I was in college, I tried to become like this like pseudo intellectual. I think I see the world better than anybody type of guy, and it was just because I was listening to a lot of McConaughey speeches, and he works in all these backwards metaphors,
Yeah,
and that's really all it
yeah.
was. Like I watched True
Hmm.
Detective one too many times and just became like this sad sack. It's really all it was.
That's that. Yeah, aim higher for your inspiration.
Yeah.
Do McConaughey and Wolf of Wall Street. Just start doing coke in the bathroom
Oh, that'd been
or at
yeah.
the
Well,
table.
that was my friends. I didn't do that. That was my friends.
Yeah, that's the
All
power of McConaughey.
all my friends, their favorite movie was Wolf of Wall Street in college. Like they had the poster and stuff like that. They all just like studied finance, but they all just developed the drug addiction part of that movie and nothing else. Like they
Yeah,
didn't
always be wary of guys that watch The Wolf of Wall Street and think it's a good story.
like they
It's an
think yeah
inspirational
they think
story.
it's like
Yeah,
heroic. Like they think this is like,
yeah,
oh man, he gets the hottie, like he gets the money. Let's do it.
yeah.
Yeah, like what?
I know. I used to live with a kid that would like watch that movie once a month, just kind of re up and like motivate himself. And I'm like, you don't have a job. Like, I don't understand. Like, what is? Your
Dude, you're
mom
not
pays the
taking
rent. Like,
down
I don't
Wall
understand.
Street. Like, dude.
Yeah, you're not. He would say he's a day trader, and I was like, your mom put money in a fund for you. That's not day trading. Opening
Dude,
Merrill Lynch doesn't make you a day trader.
you're on Robinhood. You're traded GameStop stock. You're not Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, hold the line.
Oh
I
man, did you get in on that? Did you get in on that?
No, no, no. I do have a Merrill Lynch account, but that's just because at the earliest I just like wanted to throw a few $100s. But like that's just not me. Like I wish at the time. Like I'm like I think I tweeted. I was like, can someone just let me know next time? Like I'll put some money in, but like I don't
Yeah,
have the
honestly,
energy
like I just feel like
to
I got in on it kind of early, but I feel like I missed out. Like,
Yeah. Shoot me a text.
I
I'll get in.
I went on like that Reddit oh shoot, the finance, you know what I'm talking about, the Wall Street bets
Yeah,
Reddit,
Wall Street Bets. Yeah.
and like all these people, their philosophy, it was so dumb that it made sense. It was like
Mhm.
their philosophy was like uh Wall Street keeps like buying shorts. They keep trying to dive the stock price down, but they don't realize how stupid we are. So we're just going to keep buying it and make it go up. Like, why don't we like this is like a money glitch? Like we could just make money. Let's just buy the stock.
Yeah.
Max, thank you for coming on, man. It was a ton of fun. I know you got a heart out right here, but I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to be on the show, man. Is there anything you'd like to leave the people with?
I will leave you with a closer that I used all last year, and it rings true with me.
Are you
It's a
doing
tough
like a whole
time right
bit? Are you
now.
doing a whole
I'm doing a
at
bit. I'm
Joker?
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But do follow We Were Had on Instagram and listen to that podcast on podcasting things. If you're podcast people, I'm new to podcast. If you can tell, I'm not. I'm just excited that I have one. It's an
I
unsolved
had to tell.
mystery
I like
podcast.
he was like you sit and listen to it and edit it. I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah,
Well,
like
I edit it for I do it with two comic friends, but it's like I put the intro, I put the outro, and I just trust that there's nothing offensive in the middle. I just
yeah.
let it
Oh
go.
yeah, yeah. I've had a couple comic. Well, not to like keep the show going on, but I've had a couple
Mhm.
comics be like, hey, can you cut that out for me? Like, I'm pro comic, man. I'll help you out, whatever you need.
Oh no, I literally whatever. I couldn't care less.
But anyways, thank you guys for listening. Max, where can they follow you at?
At Max a Gazillion on everything and TikTok. I'd love to log back on in a month and see that everybody from this podcast
Yeah.
followed me.
When they make up, and they get back together, unlike me and my girlfriend, who will never get back together again, and that's something I'm gonna have to get over. Thank you guys very much for listening. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you